Siemens came and bought from us, and they made us sign the papers that we will never tell the world that Siemens stuff is our stuff. Yeah, and so once we became popular, Siemens came back and asked for the permission to announce to the world that their stuff is our stuff. It was, by 86, the TCP/IP implementation from Epsilon was the standard TCP/IP. You had to work with us to be accepted as a TCP/IP implementation. So Eric Schmidt at Sun, who was the head of the engineering, he and I used to sponsor a thing called Tenectathon, which will be sort of networked at trade shows, where everybody's booth will be networked, so they could talk to each other to demonstrate, that TCP/IP is fully interoperable. So Eric and I used to sponsor that for 2, 3, 4 years, and this had Dan Lynch. I don't know if you ever heard of Dan Lynch.
I've heard of him.
Dan Lynch was the guy who came out of UCLA. See, TCP/IP and Internet's early stuff came out of UCLA. So when it got accepted that they were going to launch the network, the ARPANET, so he was the guy who took the tape out of UCLA and went and installed at Oxford, AT&T, Princeton, Berkeley, the original nodes of the Internet. And so I hired him as a consultant to help us in 85, 86. And he did a show called, he organized a show called Interop. Interop was the show around interoperability of the TCP/IP and Ethernet. And so it was sort of, with my help, Dan Lynch became a pretty high-profile guy because he was the original investor in all these Internet startups in 95, 94, 95. I mean, 92, 93, I should use word. And so I, by late 80s, early 90s, I was Mr. TCP/IP in the Valley because we were the only people till about 91, 92 who had bet the whole company on TCP/IP. People were still waiting for the OSI, Intel especially, and IBM also, and Digital had started to say that they will abandon .NET to do OSI. And the OSI was going to be the next future. And I kept saying, not going to happen. All these machines are now talking to each other. They are doing very reliably. People will have to rip up a working solution to put this new stuff. It never happened. And so I used to give speeches that TCP/IP is it. World is not ruled by TCP/IP because it's evolving, getting better, faster. In every respect. Why would anybody change it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you essentially were doing all the marketing as well then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who would pay money for it?
Pricing it to the market and the users.
Yeah, we had sold about 1 million machines before the world Internet was ever used. And so if you remember, most of these machines were talking to each other on LANs on campuses. And so it was a large number of machines talking to each other, and then this company Cisco came along with a router which will bridge this LAN to that LAN. So if you are a large company like GM, you have campuses across the country, they could make your local campuses to a national campus. And so Cisco brought the WAN with the TCP/IP mindset. And initially they had a multi-protocol routers, but then became TCP/IP routers. And along the way, somebody said, we can have this private network starting to each other. So there was no organized body which said, let's do the Internet. LANs became, from buildings to campuses, to nationwide, and then there was this group called, I'm trying to remember the name. So why don't we have a peer endpoint where we can exchange traffic between different companies' LANs, And so they set up these POPs, opinion points, and all of a sudden you could send stuff from me, WABC, to somebody else, and this by 93, 94, stuff was easily being transferred between the companies. Before that, if you are a company A and you needed to send to somebody, so you had to find your way to Berkeley, and then those guys had to find some way to one of the this basic backbone network.
Mm-hmm.
So the address used to be we were one of the main nodes. I'm at Joe at ABC at XYZ at this at Epsilon at Berkeley. Your address will be this long, and then I want to send this to this guy, blah blah blah.
Who will forward it?
Forward, and it was overnight transfer, right? File transfers and email was overnight transfer. Maybe half day. So there was this offering time. Hey, why don't we offer each person a name and domain name, and routing will be supplied by this service. I think I'm trying to remember. That was drip. And once that happened, he says, why do we need to have anybody know who's where? Why don't we have this domain name service which sort of connects people to each other? So by 93, 94, you were able to transfer stuff, but we were the main underlying technology.
Were you following any of the ARPANET stuff? Because they were big on TCP/IP over
that's
wide geographies.
No, that's where we
That's where
that's where we started.
that's
We
where it
took
started.
the original ARPANET software and commercialized it. We didn't implement. We didn't build TCP/IP from ground zero. We took the ARPANET software, which was available in public domain, and we commercialized it, and we made it happen on all the machines. And so we were. It's like the open source stuff now. We were the original open source guys, who were selling the TCP/IP on all the machines, and and fully supporting it.